So one really important section that you need to worry about when you are writing SEO optimized content is how you are structuring your content briefs. Now, SEO content briefs, when I first started doing them, it was very much a manual process. I have been able to build out a Google Sheet tool that you guys can use completely for free. So if you guys do want this, make certain to check the link down below. And when you get access to this actual sheet, you need to click on File and then make a copy so you're actually able to edit it. But I'm going to be showing you guys the manual way, just so you guys can understand how the actual manual way works. You guys might actually be doing it manually yourself. There might be a few things that you will be able to pluck out from this video on how to actually create content briefs. But the reason why content briefs is very important on how you're actually structuring them is because if you are missing a certain subheading within your actual article, that can make the impact of ranking position 15 to ranking position number 2, just by not having a certain section on your actual article. So now that we know that, and now that we know the actual importance of this, the next step is obviously you need to do your keyword research. Now, I'm going to assume that you already have a list of articles that you actually need doing. In this case, I'm just going to use like a random HVAC article. So, for example, if we click on questions here, and if we do...
Did you know that 81% of businesses are overspending when it comes to actually trying to rank their website organically in Google? That's why I've decided to create the Traffic Accelerator system. It will tell you exactly what your website is lacking. The Traffic Accelerator system will tell you exactly how many backlinks you need, what articles you're missing on your website, and also how to internally link those articles together to gain topical authority. Now, if you're struggling to rank on Google, click the link down below, get the Traffic Accelerator system for your website. It's only $195 and it will tell you exactly everything your website is lacking.
We will let's find an article. How long do HVAC systems last, right? So this gets a fair amount of searches every single month. I think it's said 1,000 searches, 15 keyword difficulty. So, I mean, it's a fairly difficult-ish keyword. I mean, it's not super difficult, but it's not super easy either. But what we would want to be doing is we would want to take a look at who are ranking positions 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and looking at their actual content. So if we take a look here, if we look at the position history, as you can see, sealed.com is ranking number 1. So this is an actual proper blog article with loads of subheadings. And then we've got train.com. Reddit's ranking position number 2, but I'm going to avoid Reddit because it's just not SEO optimized content. Like, their content isn't ranking that actual website. We're going to ignore this because the domain authority is super high right now. Google is preferred a lot by Reddit. So the reason why this web page is ranking, it's not because of their content. So you can avoid certain pages as well. It's completely okay to do that. So Reddit, I'm going to completely ignore. Then we've got train.com. And if we take a look here, so we've got fairly well optimized article. Then we've got CNET.com. So again, with CNET, because they are a massive conglomerate, they might not have the best SEO optimized content. In this case, it doesn't look too bad, but in some cases, if you're looking at sites like Forb or in some cases CNET, the reason why these websites are ranking, it's not because they're writing amazing SEO optimized content. So in some cases, ignore these monster websites, but try to find websites that are like your local competitors, or if you're an e-commerce store, try and find another e-commerce stores that sell in a similar product when you're trying to pick out all of these websites to craft your content brief. But this, by the way, this section that we're looking at, it is literally the exact same thing as if we were going to just search how long does a HVAC system last. Like, you do not need Ahrefs for this at all. You don't need any paid tools at all for this, right? So if we take a look here, what I like to do is I'll take a look at the actual content itself. I'll see if it's actually well-written content. So this looks like it is. Now, what I would do typically is I'll grab the actual URL and I'll take it to a sheet or a Word document, and I will say something along the lines of headings from, and then we're just going to grab some of their headings. So this is the actual H1 heading, and if we just paste this without formatting, then we've got desert climate changes make systems work harder. So all we're doing right now is just copying all of these subheadings that obviously make sense. In some cases, don't just blindly copy these subheadings. We want to make certain it's actually making sense to the actual article. So, for example, what else affects HVAC systems life? That does, like I would include that within that article. Routine HVAC maintenance is key. So obviously you can mention if you're yearly getting your HVAC system a routine visit by a specialist for maintenance, obviously it's going to expand the actual lifespan, right? So that's website number 1. Then we've got website number 2, and again I would do the exact same process here. So we're going to do headings from, and then we've got, randomly just placed an emoji there. Then we've got headings from here, and we've got how long does HVAC last. Now, in some cases, what you want to make certain is that you're not copying the exact same heading that 2 websites have. We want to make certain that our website or our web page is covering the topic in its entirety. That's when Google prefers our page to other pages. Like, for example, if we've got headings from position number 1, position number 2, and position number 3, and we're combining all of that into one document, that means that we're actually doing Google a favor, and it doesn't need to go and crawl 3 different web pages to get the exact same information. It can just crawl our page, and it's got all of the information from 3 of our competitors or 4 of our competitors. So then we've got this page here. So how long does HVAC system last? Let's see what other subheadings they've got. Life expectancy of popular HVAC systems. So again, we've got something here that is fairly similar. Life expectancy. What else affects HVAC system life? So we're going to ignore that one. When to replace HVAC systems. This, I would probably say that it probably deserves its own article. The content on this page, I wouldn't just blindly follow, because again, this definitely deserves its own page. So I'm happy with the headings from that page. We'll take a look at one other competitor here as well. And if it does load, there we go. How long do HVAC systems last on average? And we've actually already got that. And change out air filters regularly. So this is like how to actually extend the lifespan of your HVAC system. So we'll obviously just copy, let's say, regular HVAC system maintenance. We'll just copy this one as well, and we'll just paste that in there. And the website URL is that. So headings from. So this is the manual way of actually doing it, and then what you would probably want to do is just copy this all over into ChatGPT and do a prompt that removes any duplicates as well. So this is something that I would be doing, is if we just paste that in here, can you create a content brief using these subheadings above, right? So something like that is probably going to give out like a 70% of the way their article. Now, in some cases, what you do find is that it will try to write the article, but the content's not ready to be written. Now, this is basically what I would actually ship off to a content writer or potentially like a content writing tool. And basically this is now ready to be written for an actual content. So if we actually just remove all of that, then we've got the actual full-on content brief ready to be written. Now that's the manual way. Obviously, I'm just looking at the time now. It took 9 minutes to do that. We're going to do the exact same thing in under 2 minutes, and it's going to take us so much easier. It's going to be way quicker, way easier to actually do this, right? So this is the article builder. There's a few things that you need to know about this, right? So we've got the cheat sheet here, and every article type, there's an article scope, right? So if I just zoom in here, we've got informational articles, we've got how-to guides, we've got listicles, we've got product reviews, news, FAQs, ultimate guides, and service-based articles, right? Service-based articles, they're like HVAC installation company in Manchester, or dentists in London, right? That's a service-based page. Then we've got like ultimate guides, so like the ultimate guide to teeth whitening. Then FAQs might be like the most commonly asked questions for HVAC repair. Then we've got like news, so that could be like newsworthy stuff. We've got product reviews and comparisons. So if you're comparing two different products, let's say the HVAC 445 versus the HVAC 220, right? Then we've got listicles, so you might have like a list of the top 10 HVAC, let's say, units, and we've got a how-to guide, so how to clean your HVAC system, or how to clean or how to whiten your own teeth at home. Then we've got informative articles, right? We then have the end goal. So what do you want the person to actually do? This is really important when you're actually crafting the article. What do you want that person to do? Do you want them to fill out a contact form? Do you want them to talk to your sales rep if you're like a service-based business? If you install solar panels, you might want people to actually phone into your dedicated sales team to then be able to close them on solar panels. Do you want people to sign up to your mailing list? Do you want people to potentially look at another page and like have internal links? Do you want people to sign up to your free ebook, right? So that's basically the end goal of the actual article. We've then also got tonality as well. So is it going to be an informative article? Is it going to be conversational? Is it going to be persuasive, humorous, etc., etc.? So that's the cheat sheet. Very, very quickly going through it. Take a look at this before you actually generate your article, because it is very important to actually know what type of article you are going to be generating, right? Then what we want to do is very similar to what I've just shown you before, is look at our competitors, look at their actual content, and see what we can actually do with their content. So if we take a look at their next the next actual tab along, this is the subheading grabber. Now this is a fairly it's a fairly advanced piece of code that basically goes and grabs all of their subheadings. So as you can see here, we've got all of the subheadings from our competitor number one. Then we're also going to do, let's say, let's go to Angie.com, because they usually do have fairly decent content on their website. I've seen them rank quite a few times. So if we take a look here, right, all you need to do is just copy that URL, paste it into this actual tab, and it will grab all of their subheadings. Now, in some cases, some websites don't allow for this. Is basically like Python scripted or Python scraping. In some cases, websites, sometimes it comes out with an error. If it does, you might just need to manually add in all of your subheadings. But you can obviously replace it with an actual other competitor here. So if we take a look at this, right, what we will do is we'll actually use the CNET article, because the content on this wasn't too bad. So in this case, this competitor doesn't allow for scraping. Angie, for whatever reason, they don't. But if we take a look at CNET, for example, as you can see, we're ready to go. Now, the prompts are built into this sheet, so you do not need to worry about a single prompt. All we need to do now is just copy all of this, right? Go to ChatGPT. We can even create a new ChatGPT chat, and all we're going to do is just paste in that prompt, and this is going to go and do its thing. It's going to structure everything. H2s, H3s, H4s, everything is going to be done for us. Obviously, it's given us two different actual sections here. So I'm going to take a look very quickly now. this section, it's an actual, it started talking about solar panels. Now, it actually has mentioned it's an optional section, but let's take a look at both of them and see which one is a little bit better. So how long will my HVAC system last? Factors affecting lifespan of your HVAC system, typical lifespan. Yeah, I like this. I prefer this one. So all I'm going to do here is I'm just going to copy all of these headings. And then what we're going to do is we can stop right there. We can literally just have that in our actual content brief ready to go. But we're going to go one step further. We're actually going to go to the article builder here, and we're going to paste in all of our subheadings, right? And we can also have sources here. So what this next section does is it will actually fact check the content for us, right? So we can actually have a source here. So if we actually do, let's say HVAC, let's see if there's a Wikipedia page for HVAC. Yes, there is. So we can actually just copy that, go to our HVAC or go to our sources section and paste that in. Right, so this is basically going to actually fact check anything in the actual article, because we're actually going to get ChatGPT to write this article. Then we're going to give it the article title. So we're going to do lifespan of, or actually, yeah, lifespan of a HVAC system, right? We'll do that. Or actually what we can do is we can actually just use the H1 or the keyword from the Ahrefs, right? So then we've got we can select the scope of the article, like what I was saying before. So is it going to be an informative article? Is it going to be a how-to listicle, so on and so forth? So in this case, it's going to be an informative article. Then we've got the actions for readers. So what do you want people to do? Do you want people to click through to related articles? Do you want people to request a consultation or a free quote? So in this case, we might actually say, we're going to request a free quote. Then you've got the tonality. So do you want it to be conversational? Do you want it to be authoritative, persuasive, so on and so forth? So we'll go with a persuasive article, right? Now, what we just need to do now is literally just copy all of this. And then, again, we can just create a new chat here and then just paste that in. And this is going to create the actual article. It's going to be SEO optimized. It's going to be ready to go for our website. So I'm just going to pause the video for just a second while this is actually writing the content. So the content has just finished. What I'll do now is I'll just copy this into my Google Sheet. So it's just a little bit easier to actually read it. But as you can see here, everything has been done. So we've got a conclusion. We've got all the questions answered for us. We've got like upgrading versus repairing, the importance of it all. It is all in bold, but that might have been because when I pasted this in, it was bold. So if I just do that, there we go. Perfect. So everything's ready to go. It's also boldened some words for us. Now, this is almost ready to go. If you want to go one step further, and also if you want to check to see if this is truly SEO optimized content, what you can actually do is, I don't know if many people know about this, but this is Google's own cloud natural language processing platform. So if you just literally search Google NLP, and if you click on get insightful text analysis, again, this is completely free to use, actually. If you just scroll down, you can use the try the API section, right? So if we just copy some of this content here, we'll do this section. So if we just click on analyze, and if we click on I'm not a robot, as you can see, there are actual NLP extractions inputted into this content ready to go. So HVAC system is an actual NLP, HVAC systems, longevity, quality, lifespan. So it's ready to actually go. Now, what I would do from here is I would actually probably try to run this through either Hemingway editor. Now this is more so for actual like sentence structure. So if we actually just paste this in, so this is a grade 10. you should be aiming for like grade 9, but just by adding in maybe like a couple commas, a few sentences, breaking some sentences down a little bit, it's very easy to actually get that to a grade 10. I remember when I was actually getting actual content writers to write the content, the grade would be way higher. So this is like fairly decent optimized content. It's 1,079 words. And another step that you can also do as well is obviously running the content through Grammarly as well, making certain that everything's grammar checked. Typically speaking, ChatGPT content is like 80% ready to be uploaded. There's just a few tweaks that you might want to do, but as you can see, it is actually SEO optimized content. If we just take a look here, ready to go. By the way, if you guys do want to use this, you can actually use this on any article that you guys already have. It will tell you all of the actual entities and stuff like that as well. But again, it's a very good starting point when you are trying to do your content briefs. But the link for the actual article builder will be down in the description. So if you guys do want to use it, feel free to use it. It's completely free to use. And as always, if you guys have enjoyed this video, please remember to leave a like. And also, if you want a growth strategy call for your website, make certain to check out kazradash.com and fill in the form, and I will be in touch. Thanks.